One is too small a number for greatness. And we live in a day where the one is often celebrated. I mean, you're on the other side of some kind of screen, and that's great. But the whole reason I want the opportunity to talk with you or to share with you is because it's my heart to build a sense of community. Because you and I can't succeed by ourselves. We need other people. We need other people when everything goes right, and especially when it feels like it's all falling apart. Hey guys, welcome to the Troy Gramling podcast. Like I say quite often, it is incredibly amazing to get to spend some time with you because our goal is to build a community so that we reach our potential. We become everything that we were created to be. It's so easy to sometimes get distracted or forget that all of us are uniquely created on purpose to do something of significance. So if you hear something that encourages you, hey, why not share it with somebody down the road? Because you never know, it might make a big difference in their lives. I'm always amazed, right, with a thought or maybe a sentence, an idea that really changes the trajectory of our lives. It's incredible how powerful ideas actually are. If you have a question, just put it there in the comment section. And don't forget, if you haven't picked up our book, it is the 1-year anniversary. Time just keeps on ticking. That'd be a great song, wouldn't it? Hey, today's a special day because we're going to talk to a Brazilian astronaut by the name of Marcos Pontes. We actually had him here at church a few years ago. We did a series where we talked about space and the Apollo missions. I mean, we live in an exciting day, don't we? I mean, you've got Elon and SpaceX talking about going to Mars. You've got celebrities going to space. I mean, it was just a few years ago. The Apollo was the most powerful most powerful engine or rocket that had ever been created. I went to space. Well, that's not quite true. A representation of myself actually went to space. We'll show you a little clip of that. But today, just a few years later, you've got celebrities now going to space in Blue Origin. Just a really incredible time to be alive. I don't know, will we go to Mars? Who knows? But it is an incredible, exciting. And I want to share a little bit with you. We talked about the Apollo 13, because to me, out of all the Apollo missions, other than the first one, right, when they stepped on the moon for the very first time, and it's like, I can't imagine being an adult during that time. It'd be like when they first get to Mars, right? And it's like, and you look up into the sky 250,000 miles away and you think there are people there. And to this point, we are the only human beings, Americans are the only human beings that have yet to step on that surface. I think that'll change in the very near future, but it is pretty incredible achievement that they made. Then Apollo 13, just a few missions later, we have the catastrophe, right? And I don't know if you've spent much time thinking about Apollo. Probably not. It was years ago. But you have what they call the CM, right? That's the command module. And then you have the LM, the lunar module. And that's what would actually, so it was really neat the way this would come together. And then the lunar module would come out. And then the command module would turn around and connect to the lunar module to get to the moon, and then the lunar module is what would go down to the moon, and they would go out and do their stuff, and then it would shoot back up. They got one shot. If that rocket did not fire on the moon, they were stuck there. And I always wondered, and I've never heard whether or not they had, like many of the soldiers did, especially Nazis during World War II, where they could just bite into a pill, or would they just suffocate eventually when all the power ran out there on the moon, because there'd be no way to rescue them. Well, Apollo 13, halfway to the moon, has a catastrophic failure. So they don't get to go down to the moon, and they got to figure out how to get back. And it's just such it is a real life story that sounds like a movie. And of course, you can watch the movie, but they end up getting in the lunar module, and the LEM is what they call it. And it's like a lifeboat. That's what they call it, because it has, the ability to do that. But then they got two, it's made for two. Now there are three in it, and they got to figure out how to get the carbon dioxide out of, so they don't all fall asleep and die in there. And they got to figure that out. And it's just an incredible, incredible story. And it's just a great reminder. Like I said, it took literally hundreds of people, not just to get to the moon, but then to deal with this tragedy. And, things haven't really changed. And what I mean by that is one is too small a number for greatness. And we live in a day where the one is often celebrated. I mean, you're on the other side of some kind of screen, and that's great. But the whole reason I want the opportunity to talk with you or to share with you is because it's my heart to build a sense of community. Because you and I can't succeed by ourselves. We need other people. We need other people when everything goes right, and especially when it feels like it's all falling apart. I mean, one of the greatest stories of Apollo is the tragedy that they overcame and were able to bring all three astronauts back safely and then go do it again and do it safely. Sometimes it's the tragedies in our life that produce the greatest growth if we're not doing it alone, right? Isn't that always the temptation? I know for me, when things get difficult, I tend to want to isolate. Just kind of sit in my little corner and feel sorry for myself or brood a little bit, think about how unfair it is and how things have gone wrong. Maybe if you're given to leaving comments on different videos, maybe you go to social media, talk about how unfair your life is, or go onto one of the platforms. But in reality, what we need to do is do life together. And we know that. I mean, you think about it, if you go onto so many of these platforms, you just have people looking into a camera talking about the difficulties of their life. They're either lonely, or they got fired from their job, or they got mistreated at the gym, or just all kinds of different ways in which people are basically expressing themselves. And I think the reason we do that is because we need community. We're hoping somebody's going to have an answer, or somebody's going to be able to speak some truth into our lives. It's hard to do through a camera. And so I just want to encourage you today as you listen to Marcus, who had been to the Space Center. He's not an Apollo astronaut, but he has been up into space. I think he spent 10 days up there. As you listen to his story, as we're reminded of Apollo 13, and as we look at Scripture, we truly need one another. So leave us a comment. Who has had the biggest impact on your life? What have you learned in Apollo 13 type situations when it seems like there really is no hope? And like I said, share it with somebody. It'll make a difference. If you haven't subscribed, I just really want to encourage you to do that. It does help us with the algorithm, and the algorithm is king when it comes to podcasts, whether it be on YouTube or Apple or any of the platforms. And we're going to journey together. And if you haven't seen, we've talked to some really interesting people lately, and I'd love for you to go back. There's a whole archived, different topics, different folks. Again, our goal is to partner, and together we're going to do some pretty cool things, because you are unique and uniquely created to do something of significance. So, hey, let's go back and check out a little bit of when we talked to astronaut Marcus Pontus.
We had the unique opportunity to sit down with astronaut Marcus Pontus and learn a little bit about him and learn a little bit about space. So it's actually Colonel, right?
Yes, Air Force Colonel.
Air Force Colonel, and that is in the Brazilian Air Force?
Yes, in the Brazilian Air Force. I was test pilot in the Air Force in Brazil, and I had some chance to fly here in the U.S. as well.
Are you still the only astronaut from the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, the only professional astronaut.
What year was that when you were up in space?
That was in 2006, so 10 years ago.
So you setting on the rocket, a countdown. How long before you're in zero gravity?
It takes 9 minutes actually to. It's amazing when you think about this, because we're going to space. It takes just 9 minutes from the time you start the engines to the time you are in space.
You know, we read about space and we read about, you know, going 20,000 miles an hour and everything. So does it feel like you're traveling that fast? Not necessarily when you're entering, but just when you're up in space.
No, actually you don't feel much the speed. Although, think about this. This is the planet. We are going around the planet once every 1 hour and a half. So 90 minutes to do this. If the sun is there, you spend like 45 minutes on the day side of the planet, 45 minutes night side. Speed of the International Space Station around 17.5 thousand miles per hour, so it's really fast. But you can see the changes. You can see so many places on the planet, but you can't feel the speed because you don't have any acceleration. As you get into the atmosphere, you get more drag, and of course you lose speed, and the angle will do like this. So you're coming down. It takes about 26 minutes to cross from South America, the entire South America, Atlantic Ocean, north of Africa, and land at the Kazakhstani desert in 26 minutes. So it's pretty fast, and it's the most critical part of the flight actually. And you are a passenger,
right,
pretty much.
You either make it or you don't.
Yeah,
huh?
you don't have wings. You're just inside a small capsule, just waiting.
Yeah. So, what now that you look back on it, you've had a decade to think about. What are a couple of things that you kind of brought back with you? Maybe changed your perspective, or have caused you to think a little different, maybe.
Yes, this is something that if you meet somebody that went to space and tell you that didn't change for me, it's not saying, or she is not saying the truth, because actually it's the complete truth. Because when you were there, somehow looking back the planet, you know, seeing how small we are, and like crew members of this big blue spacecraft here, you feel very small, very insignificant. However, we can make the difference, but using our minds, our ideas, to pass through other generations and spread good things about life on this planet. So the message is, everything is possible if you believe, really believe. You have a huge potential, and so everything is possible if you believe and you work day by day, you know, towards your dream. So this is one of my dreams. Who knows? Maybe I can go to Mars or other places. You know, it's something that since I was a little boy, I used to see there and imagine, wow, how far can I go on this? And this is the opportunity, and we have to keep those dreams.
You can write your name on this card along with the 3 or 4 people you're going to invite to be a part of our fall kickoff. You're going to turn in. We're going to take a picture of your handwriting, your card, or the link that you send in on the app, and then we're going to place that on a thumb drive. We're going to take that thumb drive and we're going to send it to space.
Today our goal is to launch many parts to Troy into the stratosphere. We have 2 camera angles here that we're going to be using to shoot on him. My greatest fear is that we are unable to retrieve it. Alright guys, I think everything is working. I am making sure that our satellite tracker is uplinking correctly, so that we're getting the correct coordinates, because that's our only link to being able to find this once the payload lands. All right, let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, launch! Right now we expect it to land relatively close to Fort Myers, but it could also land in a Lake Okeechobee as definitely a big bullseye in the middle of the state. It's going to be adventure, no matter what happens. It's going to be an adventure. If you thought the launch was challenging, just wait until it's time to recover.
Hello?
Hey Joseph, this is Erdis driving behind you. Talk to us. We're looking at the tracker here. It froze at 1,400 feet. Is that what you're seeing as well?
So the balloon has landed. It looks like it might be in a tree. We should be there in about 15 minutes.
All right, guys. We feel like it landed somewhere here in the middle of this orange grove. What's going on? You want me to push it, or you want me to bump you, or what do we do?
Yeah, let's push it.
We're like 2 miles away.
Yeah, we're
2 miles away from the balloon. The truck almost got stuck. We pulled the truck out, and the mission continues. Let's go.
So you said it's either on the ground or in a tree above. There's a creek where the GoPro's right by, and he says that the creek is right.
Oh yeah, that's it.
We found it. We found it. We see it, dude. We found it. It's right there. It's on the other side though, so we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do.
We just met Jason. Jason works here, and he said he saw something. He's gonna help us. It looks like someone's getting wet today. We gotta figure this out now.
Is that Pastor Troy?
He's alive. He's alive.
Yeah, we might want to take this back and set up on the table. I mean, there's just so many things that can go wrong with a camera. The memory card could just kind of glitch. The battery could die early. There's a lot that you have to worry about.
All right, so this is first SD card. We're gonna take a look.
Of this one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's not a good sign.
So no space footage.
One of the cameras, one of the three failed.
It's black with a white balloon.
Oh.
I was gonna go back down.
Ooh.
I got to tell you, it was a true honor to have the astronaut Marcus Pontus with us just a few years ago, and to hear us. Now, I know you're probably watching it and thinking it's longer than a few years ago because you look like you're aged quite a bit. Well, maybe it was a little longer than a few years ago, but it was an honor to have him, and just a story, and especially as he talked about how the reality is all of us have potential, something to reach for and to become. How'd you like my journey to space, or not that which symbolized me. You know, he had a little tattoo on his arm and everything. And then we were scared to death that we weren't going to be able to find it, but we did. And we truly did take, because we had it, there was a little, I don't know if you saw it in the video, but there was a little drive that had everybody, the folks they were praying for and their names and that kind of thing. So we actually took everybody to space with us, and then we brought them back down again, but we did take them with us. And I was thinking, hey, there might be somebody out there that would love to send me to space again on Blue Origin. You never know. You never know. Me and Katy Perry, we could go again. Anyways, it is really always an honor to get to hang out, spend some time. Hopefully we're all growing and learning. And if you haven't, be sure to leave a comment. It's encouraging to know who's listening, what you're thinking. Hey, maybe some question that you have or a direction you would love for us to go. Because again, our goal, the only reason we're doing this podcast is because we want to build a community of people who are reaching for everything that God created them to be, their potential. And if you heard something that inspired you or challenged you, be sure and pass it along. It just takes a click of the button to share, and it really could make a difference in somebody's life. Subscribe, and hey, we are right about 1 year into the celebration of my first book. It's gone by incredibly fast. I want to thank everybody who's picked up a copy. I really do appreciate it. All the proceeds have gone to the next generation, to their camps and their ministry, because if we're going to get to Mars, they're the ones that are going to have to get us there. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, we're here every Thursday with a brand new podcast. And then on Sunday nights, we do a live stream, 7 p.m. We just kind of hang out, have some fun, talk about what's going on in the culture, play a few games, and again, just trying to build some community. If you'd like to catch more of our teaching, there's always some here, some leadership talks and other things, but you can go to Potential Church, and you can go to their handle, you can go to the website and find the biblical teachings there as well. Again, it's an honor. I hope you have an incredible day. God bless, and we'll see you next time on the Troy Gramling Podcast. Wait, before you go, if you're enjoying our content, check out this interview or this one here. They're both really good. And don't forget, subscribe. It's really important. We'll see you next time.